Hewan terumbu karang ini melanggar undang-undang tentang karantina hewan, ikan, dan
backbone for the entire ocean. They are the nursery for the ocean. About a quarter of all marine life in the ocean spends part of its life cycle on a coral.
How can people be like that?
For our ecosystem, especially in the sea, our coral reefs are very important for shelter, reproduce, and rear the young.
Exactly. It is as important as the air and the soil.
Oh, how about we create a replacement of coral reef that help local people and doesn't harm the reef?
Yeah, but it's not an ordinary reef. We should make it so it can produce oxygen and help clean the water too. If it's not us, then who else? Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, I am Falishia Sachi Hermawan.
And I am Rahma Maharani.
We are from Pribadi Bilingual Boarding School Bandung. We will convey our research with the title name
Utilization of Artificial Coral from Slackline and Zeolite
as Oxygen Production and Water Purifier in Aquarium Ecosystem.
Water, air, and soil are important abiotic components in every ecosystem, while coral is biotic components that call rainforests in water ecosystem where many fishes shelter, reproduce, and rear their young in the many nooks and crannies formed by corals.
Unfortunately, in Indonesia, many illegal harvesting corals are exported to aquarium shops for decorations. In 2017, more than half of the 600,000 pieces coral were exported from Indonesia to Europe.
Even though in 2018 there was ban from Indonesia government, but around 12,000 people across the Indonesian archipelago lost their job. So in 2020, government reopened trade in corals and raises the concern again.
Therefore, we initiate to make artificial coral that can produce oxygen and purify water, which also replace coral from the sea as decorations in aquariums.
Let's reformulate some problem into three. First, can a mixture of zeolite and cyclopine be used to produce oxygen while cleaning the water in the aquarium? Second, what is the ratio for a good mixture of zeolite, cyclopine, and gypsum to make artificial coral? Third, can a mixture of zeolite and cyclopine be used as artificial coral and decoration in aquariums?
And we conduct this experiment to find out whether a mixture of zeolite and slaked-lime can be used as oxygen production and a water purifier in the aquarium. And then to know a good ratio of zeolite, slaked-lime, and gypsum to make artificial coral. And lastly, to make artificial coral from zeolite and slaked-lime as decorations in aquarium.
In this project, we prepared the materials and tools that we need to make artificial corals.
This research conducted into 4 steps. First step is finding out the right formulation to make artificial corals by using 1:1:1, 1:1:2, and 1:1:3 variations of zeolite, slaked-lime, and gypsum as binder.
Second step is manufacturing the artificial coral by mixing the ingredients we had with hydrogen peroxide. Then after it hardened, we coat the cracked form by white cement and we paint it with acrylic paint.
Third step is testing the quality of the product, whether it can produce oxygen and clean the water, by measuring the dissolved oxygen and the total suspended solid of aquarium water.
And last step, we applied artificial corals as decoration in aquarium.
From 3 different formulations, we get 1:1:2 as the best ratio of zeolite, slaked-lime, and gypsum. It produced oxygen bubble with hard texture that didn't break easily when put into the water, while 1:1:1 ratio broke easily when put into the water. And for 1:1:3, it produces less oxygen bubble. Then, the right formulation was seen from the organoleptic test in the form of texture, the number of oxygen bubbles produced, and the sturdiness when the coral was put into the water.
After we got the right formulation, we test the product quality, whether it can be used in the aquarium and doesn't affect the physical quality of water. Therefore, it will not harm the fish. The temperature of aquarium water is constant at around room temperature, which is safe for fish, and doesn't experience an increase in temperature that can cause a decrease in dissolved oxygen levels produced by artificial corals.
As we know, the optimum pH range of water is 7 until 9 for fish farming. If pH is less than 4 or more than 11, fish may die. Therefore, from the results, the pH of aquarium water is relatively constant at pH 8.3, which is good for fish growth.
Third, from the observation after leaving the aquarium water that has artificial coral in it, aquarium water was clearer. The smell was still odorless and the artificial coral still produced oxygen bubbles. As you can see from the picture, the results showed that the front view of aquarium water on the first, second, and third day was clearer day by day.
After we calculated using this formula, we get the dissolved oxygen level at the beginning was 6.53 mg per liter, or ppm, and after 1 hour, it became 16.73 mg per liter, or ppm, at nearly constant temperature, which are 27.5 degrees Celsius and 27 degrees Celsius. From the dissolved oxygen tolerance range for fish, we found that our artificial coral can produce oxygen to support abundant fish population.
Based on the table and graph, it can be seen that the turbidity level of water after being filtered for 1 hour has improved by 50% of the initial turbidity value in 100 ml of aquarium water samples. Higher total suspended solid means muddier looking water, while lower value of TSS means less muddy or clearer water.
Last but not least, from our research, we conclude that mixture of slaked lime and zeolite reacted with hydrogen peroxide and gypsum as binder can be used as artificial coral, which can produce oxygen as it increases the dissolved oxygen level, and clean water in aquarium ecosystem as it lowers the total suspended solid value in water.
Second, the base ratio of slaked lime, zeolite, and gypsum, usually from the texture of artificial coral and the amount of oxygen bubble produced, is a ratio of 1:1:2.
Third, artificial coral that have been made can be applied to aquarium as it's safe for fish and support fish growth. That's all from us about research of
Artificial coral that can produce oxygen and clean water.
I'm Sachi,
And I'm Dyah.
thank you so much and goodbye.